The next one then is the objection of, then why do you call God good? Right? So that's the next objection. He says there's a common objection level at the divine command theory, one that can be encouraged by the way we theists describe God's nature. Again, Senator Armstrong objects that according to traditional theism, God is all good, right? Okay. And from that, this fact, theists go on to conclude that God must be loving, generous, faithful, kind, and so on. His objection says this line of reasoning assumes that it is good to be loving, generous, just, faithful, and kind, and those things. The complaint then seems to be that we can't identify God as good without falling into a trivial tautology, right? In other words, it goes something like this. And he talks about Louis Anthony here. Objects that the divine command theorists are using the term good merely as a synonym or placeholder for commanded by God. But we're not allowed to do this, right? God is where we get our definition of good in the first place. So to say that God is all good is merely to say that God is like God. Well, we haven't said anything, right? God is all good. What does that mean? Well, God is like God. Well, wait, what is,
A equals A.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he says, okay, fair enough, right? He says, fair enough. So he's going to say, maybe we shouldn't say it that way, right? He says, let's remedy this problem by refraining from phrases like God is good, at least while we're doing philosophy here, right? Otherwise, we can go for it, is what he says. Instead, he says, we'll just simply say that God's nature determines what's good. And so now he's kind of met that particular objection. All right, fine, I'll give that to you. That's a tautology. That's just repeating, redundantly saying that. So he says, okay, fine, let's use God's nature determines what good. The main thing, though, that he wants us to remember in any case is that good is defined as what God values. So that's it's arbitrariness objection, and now we might call it the tautology objection, right? And you can get around that, he suggests, by saying, well, God's nature determines what's good.
Right. So you've added something to the argument there.
Yeah.